Is the arcade scene dying? It's an interesting question, and it's something I've been wanting to talk about on the channel for a while, because there's a little controversy around it. Like, a lot of people just assume arcades are dead. Maybe they just don't go and seek it out every day, but I'm gonna prove to you in this video that it is alive and well. So, for one, physical locations are what you think about when you think about arcades. Barcades and traditional arcades. And some traditional arcades have turned into places like Dave & Buster's. Still consider those arcades, but they have like ticket redemption machines. They still have some traditional arcade games too. Barcades are interesting because a lot of those are melding old school arcade games with craft beer. Those places seem to be thriving post-pandemic because people have been in the house for years. Now, some of them unfortunately didn't make it, but a lot of the ones that did are really thriving and taking off, and new ones are opening up every day. That's kind of proof that the arcade scene is not dead. Galloping Ghost in Brookfield, Illinois is a perfect example of a super thriving arcade scene. Not only do they have regular competitions for high scores, but they have 900 plus games there. It's a destination. People fly there from all over the world to see it. It's considered the largest arcade in the world, but not necessarily by size, it's by the number of unique games they have. They have games there you can't play anywhere else. So every Monday they reveal new games. They've been doing this for years now. I don't know how many Doc Mack, the owner, has left, but he says he has a vault filled with games that still have yet to be released that we have never seen before. You know, unique games, maybe prototype games that weren't finished. They actually have Primal Rage 2. That game was never finished and they have it out on the floor. They have a special level in Narc. So there's just a lot of excitement about that place. And I think with the advent of some of these home arcade products, we're getting new people into the hobby that want to go to places like Galloping Ghost because it's known to be this exciting destination location. Not only that, but Galloping Ghost owns Galloping Ghost Reproductions, so they provide artwork and a bunch of things to keep older machines running and looking nice. And Doc Mack, the owner, actually shares his business model with any arcade that's looking to open. So he's willing to share what he's learned as far as how to run an arcade successfully with anyone that wants to get started. And he does it all the time. So what a cool steward of the arcade culture where he actually encourages people to open up their location, but not only that, tells them how to be successful. Arcade documentaries are helping continue the hype of arcade gaming. The most recent one was Insert Coin. It came out a couple years ago, but it's super interesting because it documents Bally Midway Williams and how they were blazing trails in the arcade scene. You'll see people like Ed Boon, Joe Petro, and Eugene Jarvis, some of the pioneers of the industry. Really, really cool stuff. And not only that, there's another documentary coming out later this year called Token Taverns. Now that one, I'm in for a little bit. I'm only in a little part, but it's pretty cool. Bob Rose is the producer. Really cool. It documents barcades, the struggles they've had over the last couple years and how they're thriving post the pandemic. I hate interrupting my own video, but there's been a lot of changes since I last filmed this almost 2 months ago. Ghost Lord and the Quest for Dark Presence is another arcade movie that's coming out this year, and it's all about Doc Mack and the making of a game called Dark Presence, which is 30 years in the making and it's still not out yet. It's a very, very cool story though, and you're not gonna wanna miss it. If you wanna support the movie, there's a link in the description of this video for the Kickstarter campaign. The other thing, I have to apologize to George Petro. I called him Joe Petro in one of the clips earlier in this video. It's George Petro. I apologize. I met him at Amusement Expo this year. There's another video on my channel about that. And we talked for a while, and this was really cool. His son, Nick Petro, who also works for Play Mechanics, told him about me. So he did kind of know who I was, which was kind of cool, you know? A legend in the arcade space that knew who I was. I mean, that's pretty neat. So anyways, back to the video. Companies are still making games. Companies like Sega, Raw Thrills, LAI Games, Incredible Technologies, Unis, Jersey Jack, Stern, Spooky Pinball, the list goes on. And they're making them for the at-home and arcade barcade scene. So lots of companies making new games and really cool games at that. VR has been taking hold too, so you got a whole other sort of element with virtual reality, which kind of falls outside of traditional arcade gaming, but it's also gaining traction as well. Todd Tuckey over at TNT Amusements, he's a prime example. He's the godfather of arcade and pinball gaming, right? He's been selling them forever. He's been selling them, rehabbing them, and they're still doing that today. They're still selling them to new customers. Some of them could be locations, some of them could be private collectors. It doesn't matter, his business is doing well, and that's proof that the arcade scene is still alive. And then there's you. If you're watching, you probably enjoy arcade gaming. You're probably a steward of it as well. So there's a lot of people that are carrying the torch for arcade gaming in the future. There's people building machines at home. There's all sorts of facets of the community. But here's what I'd like you to do. Go out, find and seek out a barcade or arcade near you. Support these businesses. Because honestly, I don't know about you guys, but I've been sick of sitting in my house for a long time. And it's been fun to get out, play games with others. Pinball is a prime example. Go to pinball maps. Go find pinball machines in your area. Bring some friends. Super fun. You will have a great time. I guarantee it. But it's up to us to keep it alive. I do think a lot of these companies are doing their part, but also we have to do ours and support them as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you want to leave a comment below as to why you think arcade gaming is either alive or dead, I'm willing to hear it. And we will see you on... What the hell are you doing? Get the hell out of here. Stop watching this crap and go support a local arcade. I just told you, I give you all the evidence that arcades and barcades and arcade bars, whatever you want to call them, they're everywhere. They're all around you. This is what you wanted. Get out of your house. This is what you wanted. We've been locked up for way too long. Go support these businesses, show them how much you love this stuff, and stop wasting your life away watching this crap. Now do it. Do it!